Raised in Liverpool, Cherie Blair QC has a special relationship with the city. She served as Chancellor at LJMU for 7 years between 1999 and 2006 and returned to the university this week to have a look around the £38 million Redmond's building. Mrs Blair, successful barrister and wife of former Prime Minister Tony Blair, took some time out to speak to journalists about a range of topics.
Cherie, in the long run, what impact do you think the hike in tuition fees will have on graduates and universities alike?
Well, since we were talking before about what it was like when I left Liverpool to go down to the LSE, of course in those days only about 5 or 6% of students went to university, and certainly as I was a working class student, had very little chance of going to university. So when I went, I got a full grant. And in fact, I never had so much money in my life as my first year as an undergraduate. But today we have 40% of the student body will go to university, and if we're going to fund that, then it's either high taxation or it's the students themselves paying for their education afterwards.
Mrs Blair is a patron for many charities, but on the back of statistics that show as many as 80,000 children could be homeless this Christmas, we asked where she thought the system was failing.
All governments, I think, understand that in our country we actually need to build more homes, and we need to build more affordable homes. And one of the problems is, at the moment, we're singularly failing to do that.
Liverpool has strong links with China. But what does Cherie make of the relationship, and how can it benefit the university?
This takes an adjustment from both sides, both from the Chinese as well as for the people who are benefiting from the Chinese investment. But I see no reason why China's engagement in the world shouldn't be a source for good.
Mrs Blair and her husband became the first couple in over a century to have a child whilst in office. But what was it like raising a child in Downing Street?
As much as possible a normal life, and it was very important for them not to be that different from the other kids. They just happened to live in this rather famous address. But my main concern with my children was to keep them out of the press as much as possible.
And finally, we couldn't let the former Prime Minister's wife leave without asking her one last question. You're a red or a blue?
I'm afraid I'm a red. And as are 2 of my 4 children.